Enough of that.
Monsieur Pete!
Hello, Monsieur Lee.
Welcome back to Andertons TV.
Hola. Before we go ahead, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you might win something if you're 10 times subscribers.
Oh. Anyway.
Links below. Oh, no, timestamps.
Timestamps below, if you want to find it. Anyway, right.
Leo
Fender. Hands up, who's heard of Leo Fender? So Leo Fender did amazing things for the guitar industry, most notably making a guitar that looked a lot like this one back in the 1950s.
Got it right the first time, man.
Less of you will know that after he sold Fender and went off on doing other journeys for a bit, his last great hurrah was to start a guitar brand called G&L. Stood for George and Leo, his great friend and partner in crime through many years, both at Fender and afterwards, George Fullerton.
Good name, George Fullerton.
It's a big old range of guitars, G&L, some of which were designed when Leo was alive, some have been designed subsequently. But for me, the guitar that Mr. Pete is holding there was, I think, his best of all the G&L inventions, which was to take the Telecaster and it morphed. This model was called an ASAT, A-S-A-T. That's the Special, and what I really like about that guitar, the two main things I really like about it are the new pickups he designed and the bridge that he designed. Both of which I think have real tonal differences. You know, just going to say differences. Some will think they're better, some will think they're worse, whatever. But it was a beefed up, fat Telecaster sounding instrument.
He was trying to improve it. You know, like iOS 17.3. You know, he was trying to make a next iOS update.
That was one of my favourite guitars. In fact, that is my favourite guitar that G&L made.
Yeah, me too.
These, by the way, are all from G&L's Tribute series, which is their Far Eastern sort of versions of the American stuff. So that's ASAT Special is my favourite.
I like the Espada as well, I must admit.
Well, that's a different vibe again, isn't it?
Yeah, anyway.
And then, interestingly, the other guitar that Leo kind of was, what's the right way of saying this? He, I think, reluctantly was a lot of the dealers in the 80s were basically just saying, look, Leo, the Fender stuff that's coming out at the moment isn't great. I think it's fairly well documented that in the 70s and the 80s, Fender weren't having the greatest time. And a lot of dealers just went, could you just make us a straight copy, really, of the Telecaster?
Yeah.
So we have two instruments here. We have the ASAT Special, which is a little bit different, and we have the ASAT Classic, which is a lot more similar. So you can see here we've got a traditional Tele style bridge, two single coil pickups, albeit again still using the MFD design that again you can find out more about in the links below. But again, we've got a fairly traditional, you know, brass saddle, albeit 6 saddles.
You got one, so you got one saddle per string.
Per string.
It's not a Telecaster thing, though, is it?
None of these have neck carves on them that are terribly different to a Fender.
Nope.
They're all the same kind of scale length as you'd find on Fenders. Anyway, I think these three guitars came out after Leo passed away, and they were just introduced by G&L. First of all, you had the Bluesboy, which is a humbucker at the neck, same pickup down here as I've got here.
Yep.
Then you had the semi-hollow Bluesboy, same guitar but with an F-hole.
Yeah.
And then we had the ASAT Deluxe, which is probably the, I don't know, a little bit from
it's
this,
a bit like
bit
Aerodyne.
Yeah,
Fender.
we've got an arch top, we've got 2 humbuckers which you can coil split, and we've got the bridge from Pete's guitar. So Mr. Pete.
Yes, Mr. Lee.
These are all, by the way, all these guitars are about £500.
Which is incredible value for money.
Yeah, so a little bit dearer than something like a Squier Classic Vibe, but a lot cheaper than something like a Fender Mexican Player. So sort of sits in between.
And you get American parts, you get American pickups, you get American hardware, everything that you also use on the American version. So you get
a great instrument. In fact, you know, all I'm going to say is that the MFD pickup designs are a different design to a traditional Fender single coil pickup. Sound a bit fatter, but if you really want to know the science behind it, it's probably better to go and watch an older video we've done.
We have no idea.
Similarly, the bridge, again, you can go and look at older videos, but that particular bridge is a higher mass bridge that also the saddles are locked together, so it removes some of the vibration that you might get here. Leo's whole thing was, you know, if anything on the guitar is, like any of the parts on the guitar is vibrating, it's taking away from the string sustain, and obviously what he wanted was the string to sustain for as long as possible. So,
and he wasn't even a guitar player.
Hey,
anyway, right, so neck position, and as I'm playing you're going to see all the colors of this particular guitar on screen. I would say it's very balanced set of pickups. The whole thing is super balanced.
Just nice. Good bass end, powerful sounding, but still retaining that slightly scooped mid-range that a single coil pickup has.
Not like a Telecaster. It's a more, how can I say this without being it's more comfortable to the ears, where Telecasters
ice picky?
Can be a bit sort of where you want to roll off the back. This one just sounds, it's all there, the lows and the highs, but not too much of it either. But then on the neck, bit of gain. I really need to learn some new licks. Middle. Yeah.
Great guitar.
It's a great guitar, sounds great. It's made of this wood called sassafras, which is apparently some swamp ash. Sorry, careful how you say that when you're Danish. So you got you can see the grain through it. Looks great as well.
They're all satin necks, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they've got a bit of a tint on some of these just to make it look a bit vintagey. But yeah, satin neck, regular tuners.
Sounds great, man.
What
a great guitar.
I think it's just. I often find with these, I don't think the advice here is to try and say it's better than a Tele.
No.
Or, you know, you should have one instead of a Tele.
No.
I think, to be honest with you, if you're a fan of the Telecaster and you just want some different flavours of
If you have
guitar,
a Tele but you want another Tele, this is where you go,
This is probably the way to go, isn't it? So this is the ASAT Classic. As the name suggests, it's more of a direct copy of the classic Telecaster, although still using MFD pickups and a slightly different bridge.
Yeah.
Sassafras.
Sassafras.
Where do I want to say that
is a
from?
tree.
Who was it Muttley that used in the cartoons? You go, sassafras, fresh. Anyway.
I know there's also a drug.
Is it?
Sassafras.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Again, we've got all of these guitars, I believe, feature a 9.5-inch radius. So again, it's very, very familiar feeling. But let's have a little listen to this. I don't know what I got lost. I'm not sure where I'm going there.
It's much more full, the tone, than as I mentioned. It's that.
I've taken all my pedals off, so you are just hearing this direct. Woo. That you can hear the difference between the back pickup on there. This is much more like it.
It's the saddles.
We'd have to have a Telecaster to compare it. It just sounds like a slightly more focused bridge pickup on a Tele.
I love it. Can you buy those pickups separately? Oh, that's a good question. Links below. I'm going to set that out. I want to try to put it in a Telecaster and see what happens. Ooh.
I don't know what they're strung with. I feel like maybe 10s.
I'd say 9s, but
if I put a bit of in my opening jam, I did the first solo with just a Dane. Such a rock and roll pedal, isn't it? And then the second bit, I put the tumnus on into the Dane. Oh.
Yeah, it's a good.
Look,
it's a good guitar.
Again, I don't want to. It's your choice as to whether you decide to go down the, you want the F on the headstock or do you want the G on the headstock,
You used to look at this and lots of people go, oh my, that looks terrible. I really like it. And you know what, it's the clef. It's the...
it's a treble clef, isn't it? Somewhere, I think, if you cut that out. I know what you mean. It's perhaps not as aesthetically pleasing as a Fender headstock.
But you're not playing the headstock, are you?
No, and it's subjective. Somebody might like it more. So, okay, so that's the classic. Yeah. You're now on the Bluesboy.
I am on the Bluesboy. And I was going to mention, I forgot to mention this one, actually it's rosewood fingerboard on these.
I guess what you're seeing now are more and more of the Far Eastern manufacturers that perhaps have used Laurel as a rosewood alternative for the last 10 years or so are going back to rosewood. Yeah. So yes, if you see a dark board, it's rosewood. If you see a light board, it's maple.
Yeah, so you get your rosewood fix. Anyway, so this is the Bluesboy, and the humbucker. Definitely much faster. I'm reaching for the tone control. And also, as I'm playing, colours will appear on the screen if they haven't screen.
Likewise.
Screen, exactly.
I assume mine did.
Here is the middle. Wow, much more spanky.
Oh no, there isn't.
No, it's
no pushy-pulley.
It's blues, man. It's blues. Nobody can pull in the blues. You play blues, you never pull. I don't know why my hand automatically goes to the Corey Wong thing. It's the Corey Wong, isn't it? It's much more snappy. Mid-range, low end there, and then it's the saddles, man, that makes that gives it that Tele twang.
Right? Are these on a different wood? Are these?
Yeah, this is a basswood body, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe. No, hang on.
It's a little bit lighter.
No, it's a poplar body, so it's very popular. But I think would make a difference if you have people out there. It doesn't.
Is it a bit lighter, maybe, than the?
Yeah, it is a bit lighter. It's slightly bit lighter. It's very snappy, and I believe that's nothing to do with the pickup, but something to do with it. But the bridge absolutely makes it snappy with with all of this going on, all the springs and all that. Anyway, here's a Dane.
You're playing the blues, boy.
I couldn't stop myself. I was going to start a little, you know. A bit of my vibrato. I mean, from the film, you know, when he gives it the thing. That's so different, isn't it? Very bluesy. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but definitely has got that different high pitchy twang to it. Anyway, go on.
I've got the same thing now, but with all of its innards missing, if you like. So this is really
Innards, skinnards.
I'm going to have to.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is down at the sort of 5 or 6 pounds weight wise. So
yeah.
very, very comfortable to play, especially if you've got a bit back problems or anything like that. I don't suppose it's going to sound radically different. I mean, obviously, I'm using different pedals,
it's a bit
different.
more hollow, isn't it?
I'm a different guitar player, so. I do like
It's
that.
very fat, isn't
I do
it?
like that humbucker at the neck, single coil at the bridge. What
I
have
think maybe the
got here?
differences are too big for me.
Are they?
I don't know. It's maybe.
Go on, Mr. Pete.
That was a bit of
what
an
happened there? It's because we
impromptuous-
got 2 Bluesboys guitars with us, and that's what
Hey,
inspires
Blues
it.
Boys! That's a good band name.
That might be my favourite one. You know, I like the fact that it's unusually light.
Shall
Come
I
on,
do
play
this
us
one?
out then. So this is the. I think this is definitely. This is not a Leo thing.
No.
This is a much more recent thing.
Looks like the Aerodyne.
Two humbuckers, an arch top, flame top as well, to get a bit more contemporary looking.
Yeah.
Coil splits, 3-way, bloody
like the
blah.
headstock.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good. So, okay, so 3-way,
Sounds
push
like
pull.
a Les Paul and a Tele and a GNL have had a baby, haven't they?
Oh, that sounds like an interesting evening. So, here we go. That pops out really easily.
Doesn't it?
That's what she said. Again, it's very full. Middle position. I don't know. I see the point. This is sort of.
I think the flame top and everything. They're just going for a slightly more contemporary vibe. To be honest with you, there are technical reasons why that bridge might appeal to a higher gain rock player.
Okay, well let's try some gain R's then and a bit of compression. Almost do the reveal thing.
I like that. that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Aerodyne Fender, isn't it? It's that kind of vibe. And it's got its place, man. Oh, I like the really dark blue, but you can see the wood through it. I don't know if you can see that. See, it's
very cool. Ooh. No, look, that's it. That's our little trip down G&L memory lane.
G&L lane.
These aren't new models. It's just that during COVID, I haven't said that word for ages.
But that's probably why I'm sniffling.
Yeah,
probably got
during
COVID
COVID, the G&L Tribute Factory was one of the most negatively affected. So we haven't had a lot of this stuff for the last 3 or 4 years.
For the money, these guitars are incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're under £1 million. And, they're about 500 quid. The links are below for it. But that is under £1 million. And you get a lot of things for under $1 million.
Absolutely. There you go. All right. Well, look. Let's just. Have we got another loop ready to go for a noodle now, or do you want to save that for the next video?
No, I've done 4 already, just because. So that's how we go.
Well, thank you very much for watching. Links below to all this stuff. See you later.
Yeah.